The Raptors head coaching search is well underway. There's been a number of surprising candidates who have interviewed for the position, but none more surprising than NBA veteran, ESPN analyst, and current podcaster JJ Redick. So in this video we cover, is he fit for the role and is he ready to be a head coach in the NBA? Let's get into it. Welcome everybody to Amateur Hour Sports. It's the YouTube channel dedicated to Toronto Raptors content in videos, live streams, and shorts. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss out on all the great content I have coming your way this offseason, and you can help me on my road to 15,000 subscribers. JJ Redick is the most recent head coaching candidate who was interviewed for the vacant position left after the Toronto Raptors fired Nick Nurse. It's been a surprising 24 hours with the Raptors head coaching position, as there's been some surprising candidates already. Maybe a few were a little bit surprised to see Becky Hammon's name as one of the potential head coaching candidates here, and from an odds perspective, it looks as though she has a great chance to land the position, but out of nowhere, JJ Redick, all of a sudden, reports came out about him potentially interviewing for the position. Though I will say, a lot of the reports initially weren't from the most credible sources. I wasn't really trusting them. Maybe some of it was worded incorrectly. But then Adrian of ESPN, the Woj, revealed that not only do the Raptors have interest in making JJ Redick their head coach to a certain degree at the minimum, JJ Redick has already interviewed for the position. So, JJ Redick, long-time NBA veteran here. Now he's working with ESPN. Of course, he's been doing his podcasting. I will say, JJ Redick is a guy who knows ball. He knows the game really well. And every time he speaks, you can really get the great sense of that he knows the game extremely well. And from his time in his playing days, you also got the sense of the time that he has the great basketball IQ. He knows the game extremely well, which it would seem would translate over really well to coaching. The Raptors aren't the first who have tried to make him a coach. I believe they're the first to try to make him a head coach here, but at least the Boston Celtics, if not others, have tried to make JJ Redick an assistant since his retirement just a few years ago from the NBA. But the player has refused and is working on his content game, and he is doing an excellent job at that. And as a fellow content creator, obviously not to the level of JJ, I gotta say, he does a great show, and I'm a somewhat frequent listener to it. This guy clearly knows what he's doing, and I think has a great coaching mind. Just the status right now, is JJ Redick at the point where he can take his coaching to the next level? There are a number of candidates right now the Raptors are considering for their position. Each have vastly different levels of experience. Some people have been previous NBA head coaches. Some people have been long-term assistants in line finally to get that first promotion to an NBA head coaching role. There's current assistants who were previous head coaches. There was even a long-time assistant who's now coaching in the WNBA, and also some candidates who are coaching in the NCAA. A number of great candidates all over the board, and there are a number of great candidates for the Raptors to consider. If you don't know my stance, I am a big fan of Jerry Stackhouse and Patrick Mutombo possibly succeeding Nick Nurse for this position, but just how credible of a case does JJ Redick have? So, first of all, let's go to his coaching experience. A lot of the people in the league right now, like Adrian, Griffin, long-time assistant head coach in this league. Earl Watson had a brief stint as a head coach with the Phoenix Suns, but he's been an assistant with the Raptors for a number of years. Patrick Mutombo, been an assistant in the NBA for a number of years, also had a head coaching gig with the Raptors 905. People like Becky Hammon, assistant coach of the San Antonio Spurs for 8 years or so, and has been the head coach of the Las Vegas Aces in WNBA for a year now. But for JJ Redick, he doesn't share these levels of experience. JJ Redick has no coaching experience at the professional basketball level at all, to my knowledge. I haven't seen anything at all, so has no experience in these positions. So, how does JJ Redick get this interview for the Raptors? I'm sure it was the Raptors reaching out to him because here's somebody who's living the life, doing his content game, constantly expanding on his content game, working at ESPN, calling playoff games from a commentary perspective. I mean, it would seem strange to me for him to want to branch out and go into that head coaching role at this specific time. Maybe an assistant coaching role isn't enough to entice JJ to leave all of that content stuff behind and go to the NBA coaching scene, but just perhaps a head coaching role is just what he needs to maybe leave all that stuff and go back to the NBA. A lot of the times when he's speaking about playing in the NBA and he's reminiscing about his playing days, The thing that he misses the most is the camaraderie and the competitive edge. JJ Redick, I mean, you could tell from when he was in his playing days, he is ultra competitive. He competes out there on the court, and he would 100% bring that energy and also bring that accountability to this team. He holds people accountable 100%, and he's a very good tactician, knows the plays well, knows how to read the game extremely well. And here's a guy, one of the best, if not the best, off-ball movers I've ever seen play basketball in order to free himself up for those three-point opportunities. It's one thing to be a good three-point shooter, and he was an excellent three-point shooter, but it is another thing to be able to make yourself open for those threes when the other team knows that all you're doing out there really is shooting threes. If they know that about you and you're still able to get open, that is a testament to how well you move off the ball. So there's all these great qualities attributed to JJ Redick. But coaching in the NBA, coaching at any level, is more than just understanding the game. These are full-grown males. These are professionals, athletes here. These are guys from any age, from like 18 to how old is LeBron going to be when he retires? Like when he gets like 42, 43, maybe even more. Who knows with LeBron? But anywhere in that range of age here, there's a certain level of respect that you also have to gain here. Now, I imagine a number of players are very respectful of JJ Redick and what he accomplished in his career. No, he did not win an NBA championship. No, he was not an all-star, perennial all-star, anything of the sort, but a true veteran in this league who had a vast amount of playoff experience to go along with it. Maybe not the deepest of playoff runs, but for the overwhelming majority of his 15 seasons in the NBA, JJ Redick was in the playoffs. So he has that experience. He knows what it takes to win, especially in the regular season. But again, it goes just beyond those things. Being a head coach in the NBA, sure, a lot of that is the X's and O's. It's a lot about reading the game, understanding the game, your ball IQ. But a large portion of it as well is how you can man manage. It's the man management of the players to get the most out of all the players on your court and to maintain the right mentality within those players. I think something currently plaguing the Boston Celtics that plagued them before Ime Udoka went to the team, and we're seeing it a little bit more now in the playoffs. Now, they're only down 3-2 to the 76ers at the time of recording. I wouldn't be shocked they still go and win this series, but the mentality seems to have dropped a little bit. The passion and the fuel to go and win games seems to have disappeared a little bit. When Brad Stevens was head coach, we heard all of these ugly stories about the locker room culture within that team. Screaming matches between the players heard from the locker rooms after playoff games, and a lot of that went away last season, but maybe some of those things are creeping up again. So Joe Mazzulla as a head coach, current Boston Celtics head coach, he seems to really, really understand the game well. He seems to really, really read the game well. But perhaps this is just what we've seen so far. There are a whole bunch of evidence that we can see. I mean, you can look back at this video in 2 months. Maybe the Boston Celtics are NBA champions, and I'm eating my words here. But it just seems to me like maybe Joe Mazzulla as a rookie head coach hasn't quite developed those man management skills to take his teams to the next level as of yet. And that is something of importance for JJ Redick that I just don't know if he has at this point. We just don't have any evidence that he has that in his bag as a head coach as of yet. So from Masai Ujiri, Bobby Webster, who, let's be honest here, are on a little bit of thin ice with the way the team has operated in the last 3 seasons since winning that NBA championship especially, we've fallen off a little bit. Our depth has fallen off. Our ability to pick up free agents and develop players has fallen off, and we just haven't really had enough draft picks to really showcase our talent in the draft. The team has taken a few steps back for sure right now, and I just don't think we're in a position where we can take on that risk of hiring a rookie head coach, but a rookie head coach who just has like no experience at all coaching at this level. Now, I have belief JJ Redick could be a great coach in the NBA, but it's just such a risk to know if he's ready for that role yet. Steve Nash was really thrown into the fire as a head coach with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I will say the Brooklyn Nets with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, that was a really difficult circumstance. Also, for a certain period of time, James Harden was within that group as well, but he wasn't ready for that position despite having had experience working with the coaching staff of the Golden State Warriors. Just hadn't been at that level yet, maybe got thrown into that role a little bit too early. Well, JJ Redick has far less experience than even that and was far less of a player, with all due respect to JJ, than Steve Nash. So great players don't exactly always make great coaches. Sometimes there's players who weren't very good in the day that become great coaches, all these things. JJ Redick could absolutely be a great coach. I could see it. He's got the demeanor to do it. He's got the attitude to do it, and he's got the ball knowledge to do it. But with such a limited amount of experience, in fact, not even limited, because there's just no experience there, I just think there's so many great coaching candidates out there. I've already listed off guys like Jerry Stackhouse, Patrick Mutombo, who could take this role and have been deserving of a shot in a head coaching role. And I think it is much safer to go with them, and I feel like they can do a great job than to go with somebody like JJ Redick. But hey, if JJ Redick is ready to leave that content stuff a little bit behind and go into the NBA coaching role, wants to become an NBA head coach, wants to reignite that competitive edge within himself, I'd be more than happy if the Raptors were able to snag him as an assistant coach for this group going forward and maybe see, can he work with him? Can he show the tendencies? Can he get that experience and then become a head coach in the future? Well, for that, we will have to wait and see. As of right now, it's a very interesting candidate. The Raptors, they're interviewing everybody and they're doing their due diligence. They're going out there, finding suitable candidates and just feeling them out in an interview to see what they have. Maybe it's nothing yet, but maybe down the line you're looking for a coach and JJ Redick once again comes up and he has that camaraderie with Masai and Bobby already having done that interview, and perhaps something does come up in the future. So it's only the Raptors front office doing their job based on what I've seen so far from the offseason. They are doing their job with this head coaching hiring process. They're finding some great candidates all around. They're going to listen to them, hear them out, and you're going to see who is the best fit for this organization going forward. Maybe it is JJ Redick. I don't think so, but excited to see what the future holds for this team and possibly for JJ Redick from a coaching standpoint. Just not quite yet for the Toronto Raptors. What do you guys make of JJ Redick's head coaching candidacy? Do you think the Raptors should make him their next head coach? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me at Amateur Hour Sports for today. I'm going to be away this weekend, so no content until Monday. Apologies, but I'm going to be a little bit on vacation. So hope to see you Monday. If you did enjoy today's video, though, make sure you drop a like and subscribe for more Amateur Hour Sports content coming soon to you, covering the draft, covering free agency, covering possible trades, and of course, the head coaching search. You do not want to miss out.